Today is the 57th birthday of the basic programming language, which a lot of people who grew up in the sort of 70s and 80s, that was the first introduction to computer programming, and it was very influential. I've argued on Twitter earlier today that BASIC was in fact the Python of its day, and no less a person than Pete Lomas of Raspberry Pi fame agrees, because it gave wider access to computer programming. And he goes on to tell an amusing story about his first interaction with the BASIC language, which we'll come back to in a moment. You can actually run BASIC on the BBC microbit. There is a port of a sort of tiny BASIC done by a Japanese person, and it's on GitHub. I'll put a link underneath this video so you can download it for yourself. Only works on a V1 microbit, not the V2 at the moment. It hasn't been updated. So what you need to do to get it running is you need to follow this link, download that zip file, find the hex file in there, and drag it and drop it onto your microbit drive, and then it needs a serial interface. A simple way of getting a serial interface up and running on a BBC microbit is just to use the Python editor. So go to python.microbit.org, open up the editor, plug your microbit in, make sure it's got the more recent firmware that allows webUSB to work, but most recent V1 microbits should do this by default. If not, there's a link pops up on the editor to help you update the firmware. So plug your microbit in. It's a bit weird, we're not using Python. We're going to be using BASIC, but we're going to use the Python editor for its serial interface. Click on connect, and this little dialog box would come up. Make sure you get a message like this, something looking like CMIS-DAP, and then click on that and connect it. And now we are connected. You notice that the icon's changed here, and click on the open serial button. And if we send a Ctrl-C, I've got a syntax error. That means I'm in BASIC, so I can do print hello Pete. There we go. And then I can run that program, hello Pete. And then if I list it, there's my program, and I can do 20 no, I don't want to do print, I want to do 20 go to 10. And now I'm going to run my program, and there we go, scrolling off the screen, or in Pete's case, scrolling off reams and reams of paper, the message hello Pete. And I can break out of that, as Pete will know, by pressing Ctrl-C. Oh, I'm trying to enable dictation. That's not what I want to do. No! Right, looks like not now. No, I don't want to enable dictation. Right, I'm going to break out of that. There we go. So I think... Oh, there we go. I am back at the command line now, so I can list my program again. It's got a bit confused. If I do Ctrl-D to reset, it's got a little bit confused here. I'm going to disconnect. I'm going to close the serial, and I'm going to reopen it again. Ah, there we go. There we go. Tiny BASIC. It's based on an Arduino version, but is my program still there? No, my program's been wiped because I reset it, but presumably I can do that again. I can do 10 print hello world. I wonder if semicolons work at the end, and then do 20 go to 10. I wonder if capital letters work. There we go, that's working. It's printing hello world madly. So there we go, running Tiny BASIC on a BBC microbit.